Hello again, my friend. I'm so glad you made it back to this quiet corner of the night. Right now, tucked beneath your blankets, you're lying in a world woven from invisible threads, secret messages that once decided the fate of kings and entire empires. Tonight, those very threads will unwind for you, soft as silk. So let your pillow cradle your head a little deeper. Let your breath find a slow, steady rhythm, like waves retreating from the shore. Close your eyes and simply listen. Over the next few minutes, we'll wander through the hidden history of cryptography, one quiet revelation at a time. Each fact will arrive like a gentle whisper, and if sleep finds you before the end, that's exactly right. If nights like these help you unwind, subscribe and I'll be here whenever you need me. Now, let's begin. Picture an English countryside estate, hushed and unassuming, as the World War rages far beyond its hedgerows. Inside Bletchley Park, a machine named the bomb ticks and hums, its circuits tracing endless letters through the night. The Enigma machine it was built to unravel was a marvel of gears and rotating rotors, capable of creating billions of possible settings for every single message. Alan Turing and his team moved through those shifting patterns like stargazers mapping an uncharted sky. They searched not for a single answer but for the one delicate alignment that would turn gibberish into meaning. Long before electric currents carried secrets, Julius Caesar relied on a gentle trick of the alphabet. In the Caesar Cipher, each letter of a message was softly shifted 3 positions forward, so an A became a D, a B became an E, and meaning dissolved into a quiet haze. It was so simple that it feels almost like a child's game now, but it allowed the Roman general to send private instructions across vast dusty roads and rolling hills. His thoughts traveled wrapped in the thinnest veil of mystery, safe from any courier whose hands might stray. Centuries later, the Renaissance gave birth to a cipher so elegant it was called le chiffre indéchiffrable, the unbreakable cipher. The Vigenère cipher didn't just use one fixed shift, it danced through a keyword, changing the shift for every letter in a flowing rhythmic pattern. For over 300 years, that pattern remained a locked room, its beauty impenetrable. To those who encountered it, the message looked like a soft, endless poem written in a language only the sender and receiver could ever speak. Then there is the Voynich manuscript, a book that carries its silence like a talisman. Crafted in the 15th century, its vellum pages are filled with strange curling plants, celestial diagrams, and an unknown script that has never yielded its voice. The world's most patient linguists still float through its illustrations, tracing the loops of letters that resemble a dream half-remembered. It remains a garden of secrets where every leaf whispers a riddle, and the key has slipped quietly from our grasp. And sometimes, secrets hide not in codes but in plain sight. That is the peaceful art of steganography, where a message might be written in lemon juice that fades to nothing as it dries on the page. It could be tucked inside a hollowed-out coin, or whispered as a tiny pinprick beneath a stamp. These messages lay dormant and invisible, waiting only for the warm breath of a candle flame to coax them back into the visible world. They reveal themselves slowly, like inkblots turning into stories just before the drowsiness takes hold. Imagine an ancient Greek messenger holding a simple wooden rod and a strip of parchment. This was the Scytale, a tool where the message was written along the wrapped parchment, the letters scattered like seeds across a field. Only when the recipient gently wound the parchment around a rod of exactly the same diameter did those scattered letters align, forming a smooth, readable line as if by magic. The parchment, once unwound, was just a jumble of letters, meaningless to an intruder's eye. It was a quiet act of transformation, where the rod itself seemed to whisper the secret into place. The security depended not on locks or keys, but on the physical harmony of matching dimensions, a humble yet elegant dance of trust between 2 distant hands. In the 1970s, a breakthrough quietly unfolded in the world of numbers and trust. 2 people who might never meet could now agree on a secret key through a mathematical dance that unfolded in plain sight. This was the Diffie-Hellman key exchange, where the complexity of prime numbers became a silent fortress. Imagine 2 parties, each selecting a private number, then sharing a public piece of the puzzle. Through a series of elegant steps, they both arrive at the same secret, while any eavesdropper is left wandering in a fog of incomprehensible calculations. It is like two musicians playing a harmony that only they can fully hear, while the audience hears only a gentle, indecipherable hum. On the grounds of the CIA headquarters stands a sculpture that holds its own quiet secret. It is called Kryptos, a curved copper screen engraved with 4 encrypted messages, each a labyrinth of letters and symbols. 3 of these messages have been solved over the years, revealing poems and riddles that nod to history and mystery. But the 4th segment remains unbroken, a silent riddle etched in metal, inviting thinkers from around the world to wander through its complex patterns. It sits there, weather-worn and patient, like a guardian of an ancient truth, waiting for the day when someone will finally see the pattern in its dance of shadows. For over 200 years, a set of encoded letters from the court of Louis XIV remained perfectly silent, their meaning lost to time. This was the Great Cipher, a system so complex that it used numbers to represent entire syllables, not just single letters. Imagine the royal scribes, their pens scratching out digits that held the whispers of kings and counselors, the secrets locked away in a stream of seemingly mundane figures. It was only in the 1890s that a dedicated cryptanalyst finally unraveled its threads, and the soft voices of the French royal court began to speak again. The decoded messages revealed tales of intrigue and diplomacy, like echoes from a gilded past that had been waiting patiently to be heard. In our modern world, the protection of our digital lives often rests on a quiet mathematical principle called RSA. It relies on the product of 2 incredibly large prime numbers, numbers so vast that they form a peaceful ocean of digits. Imagine these primes as 2 distant lighthouses, their beams crossing to create a safe harbor where your secrets can rest. When you send a message or a memory across the internet, it is wrapped in this numerical embrace, shielded from prying eyes by the sheer vastness of the calculation. It is an elegant, silent process, ensuring that our personal thoughts and cherished moments remain tucked away in a safe, quiet space, just for you. Imagine a machine filled with rotating rotors, each one clicking into place to scramble simple words into a vast sea of possibilities. During the mid-20th century, this was the Enigma machine, a device so complex that its encryptions were believed to be unbreakable. But in the quiet, focused rooms of Bletchley Park, a team led by Alan Turing patiently observed its patterns. They gently teased out its secrets, not with force, but with the elegant logic of mathematics. It was a quiet victory, one that unfolded in thoughtful silence, reminding us how even the most daunting puzzles can yield to human curiosity. Over time, their work illuminated a path through the darkness, showing that understanding can blossom from persistent, gentle inquiry. This curiosity about hidden messages stretches back much further. Long ago, ancient Greek generals entrusted their secrets to a simple tool called the Scytale. Picture a strip of parchment, carefully wound around a wooden rod of a precise diameter. When unwound, the letters seemed scattered like fallen leaves, their meaning hidden from any prying eyes. But if you had a rod of the exact same width, you could wrap that parchment again, and suddenly the drifting letters would align, revealing the concealed message. This elegant method relied on a shared secret, a physical key that felt almost intimate in its simplicity. It whispers to us of a time when security was tangible, a quiet understanding between sender and receiver. In the realm of Roman correspondence, Julius Caesar employed a cipher so simple, yet so effective that it carried his name. It involved a rhythmic shift, moving each letter a certain number of places down the alphabet, like a secret dance of letters. This gentle manipulation transformed a message into a quiet stream of nonsense, but with the key, it could flow back into meaning. Imagine Caesar, in his tent by candlelight, ensuring his words traveled peacefully across the empire, protected by this soft pattern. The Caesar cipher reminds us that sometimes the most profound privacy springs from straightforward, thoughtful steps.
Centuries later, in the 9th century, a scholar named Al-Kindi looked upon the written language and saw hidden rhythms in the air. He observed that certain letters, like the soft vowels, appeared more frequently than others in any given text. By counting these patterns, he could begin to unravel codes, peeling back layers of secrecy that had endured for centuries. Imagine him in a quiet study, lantern light flickering over parchment, as he discovered that encryption, no matter how complex, often leaves a gentle fingerprint. His work was the first whisper of modern cryptanalysis, a quiet revelation that curiosity and observation can unlock the most guarded doors.
And then there was a cipher that stood for over 300 years, known as Le Chiffre Indéchiffrable, the Unbreakable cipher. It worked by using a keyword to shift letters differently throughout the text, creating a floating veil of secrecy over the words. This layered approach meant that the same letter could be encoded in multiple ways, making the pattern deeply elusive. Think of a message wrapped in a soft, shifting mist, where each word seems to drift beyond reach unless you hold the secret word. The Vigenère cipher stood as a testament to human ingenuity, a long sleep of security that finally awoke when curious minds found the key. Now let your thoughts drift back to the American Civil War, to a candlelit tent where a general holds a small brass disc. This was the cipher disc, a device of two concentric circles, each ringed with letters of the alphabet. As the outer wheel turned slowly against the inner one, plain words were gently transformed into a shimmering sequence of unfamiliar characters. A simple rotation could cloak a message in mystery, making orders and strategies appear like a foreign tongue to anyone who intercepted them. It was a dance of letters, a quiet act of concealment performed by human hands beneath the canvas of a night sky. Still here, wandering through these old whispers of secrecy. Good, because the mysteries only deepen from here. If you are enjoying this quiet journey, a like helps guide other dreamers to this gentle place. Now, let your imagination carry you further back, to the glittering court of Louis XIV, the Sun King. He used what came to be known as the Great Cipher, an invention so profoundly intricate that it guarded the royal secrets for 2 centuries after his reign. The encrypted letters seemed to be a chaos of numbers, their meaning locked away behind an elegant mathematical wall. It was eventually solved not by force, but by patient observation. A scholar noticed the soft repetition of certain number sequences and realized they represented entire syllables, not single letters. In that quiet moment of recognition, the Sun King's private thoughts emerged from the shadows, as if they had been merely sleeping all that time. The spirit of concealment then evolved into the digital age, where modern cryptography rests on the peaceful, immense shoulders of prime numbers. In an RSA algorithm, 2 enormous primes are multiplied together to form a key that can be shared with the whole world, a digital lock thrown wide open. Yet the original primes themselves remain held in a warm, secure place, like a cherished secret known only to you. Anyone can close the lock, but only one person can turn the key in the opposite direction and let the message gently unfold. It is a form of trust built on the silent, immutable nature of mathematics. There is a quieter art, though, one that hides meaning in plain sight without any complex machinery: steganography. Think of a simple sheet of paper that appears perfectly blank, yet carries a message written in lemon juice. To the naked eye, nothing is there, just the faint memory of a quill's stroke. But hold the paper softly over a candle's flame and watch as the warmth coaxes the hidden words into view, faint brown letters drifting onto the page, like morning mist becoming visible. It is a gentle, almost magical process, a secret patiently waiting to be remembered. And then there is the ultimate quiet puzzle. The Voynich manuscript, a book from the 15th century that has never been read. Its pages are filled with an unknown script that flows like water, surrounded by illustrations of strange floating plants and celestial charts that seem to map a forgotten sky. Scholars have spent lifetimes drifting through its vellum leaves, tracing the loops of letters that whisper of a lost language, a code without a key. To this day, the manuscript remains a soft, unsolved invitation, a garden of secrets that bloom only in the mind of the person who gazes upon them before sleep. Let us drift together through the quiet landscapes of secret messages and hidden meanings. In the quiet hush of a world at war, there existed a machine of spinning wonder, known as the Enigma. It was not a tool of battle, but a delicate instrument of secrecy. Inside it, a series of rotating wheels turned in precise, mechanical harmony. With each turn, they created a floating sea of possible letter combinations, billions of them, drifting like stardust across a vast sky. This marvel was designed to keep secrets safe, gently carrying them away from any who might listen in. Messages traveled through the air, wrapped in this soft, mathematical fog, and for a time they were free from prying eyes. It was a dance of light and shadow, a mechanical ballet that protected the whispers of a nation. It was a guardian of whispers, a quiet, turning keeper of the hidden. Far from the front lines, in the calm green of Bletchley Park, another kind of machine began to hum. Alan Turing and his team built the bomb, a peaceful, clicking device that worked with quiet determination. It was not loud or forceful. It sifted through the endless patterns of Enigma with a patient, steady rhythm. Day and night, it turned and clicked like a gentle heartbeat in the quiet labs. You might imagine it as a faithful companion in those long, silent hours, never tiring, always searching. This tireless persistence is credited with shortening the long war by years, saving countless millions of lives from the shadow of continued conflict. Their work was a quiet revolution, turning the tide with nothing more than logic and patience. The bomb asked no questions and sought no glory. It simply unlocked the mysteries, one by one in a slow, revealing dawn. Now let your thoughts drift back even further, to the 1st century before our time. Julius Caesar, a ruler of ancient Rome, used a cipher of such gentle simplicity. It was a mere shift of the alphabet, a fixed number of steps down the line. Each letter was quietly replaced by another, creating a soft, secret language. This was one of the earliest systematic codes, a quiet stream that helped guide the Roman Empire through its many days. It was a whisper of authority, woven into the very words that traveled across the land. In its simplicity, it carried the weight of an empire silently and surely. Even today, its echo can be felt in the simplest of secret messages. In the world of codes, there was another, once called Le Chiffre Indéchiffrable, the Unbreakable cipher. This was the Vigenère cipher, and it used a secret keyword to shift letters in a slow, repeating wave. Picture the letters rising and falling, like the gentle swells of a deep, quiet ocean. This wave was rhythmic, a soft breathing of the alphabet, steady and untroubled. For centuries, it stood deep and still, as if no light could ever reach its depths. Messages hidden within this wave were safe, floating in a peaceful current that only the keyword could calm. It was a silent, underwater world of secrets, beautiful and impenetrable. For those who knew the keyword, it was a gentle guide through the darkness. And then, there is the softest art of all, steganography, the hiding of a message in plain sight. A blank piece of paper might hold a secret, written with invisible ink made from simple things, like lemon juice or milk. The message lay in complete stillness, unseen and waiting. It could be carried across borders, past curious eyes, without a trace. Only when a gentle flame brought warmth near did the secret begin to stir. Slowly, the hidden words would bloom onto the page, appearing in a soft, brown script. It was a quiet miracle, a whisper brought to life by the simplest touch of heat. It reminds us that sometimes the loudest messages are the ones that never make a sound. In these stories, we see how secrets can be kept with such gentle grace, floating through time like dreams. Deep within the grounds of the CIA headquarters in Virginia rests a sculpture known as Kryptos. It is formed from a warm, copper-colored stone that catches the fading light, and on its surface are carved 4 encrypted messages. 3 of these puzzles have been solved by careful minds, but the 4th remains untouched, a quiet enigma cradled in the evening air. It waits patiently, a gentle riddle for someone to hold in their thoughts and slowly unfold. Like a dream that lingers at the edge of waking, this final mystery drifts through time, inviting a calm and curious soul to finally bring it home. Long before this, in the ancient world, secrets traveled in simpler ways. Think of a Greek messenger, journeying through olive groves, holding a Scytale, a wooden rod wrapped with a strip of cloth. Letters spiraled around it in a winding sequence, meaningless when laid flat. The secret only came alive when the strip was gently wrapped around a rod of exactly the same diameter, like a key fitting a lock. This delicate method trusted in the simplicity of shape and measure, a silent agreement between two souls. It was a quiet, thoughtful process, a way to share secrets without words ever being spoken aloud. Through the centuries, this gentle art of hiding words reminds us that some truths are only revealed in the right light. In the quiet years of the 1970s, a gentle revolution took shape in the world of codes. It was called public key cryptography, and it used two mathematical keys, one public, open like a gate, and one private, held close as a secret song. When two strangers wish to share a message, the public key wraps the words in a soft shield of numbers, while the private key alone can let the meaning flow. This allows for a silent exchange across the digital expanse, a conversation whispered through the ether of networks. It is a beautiful idea that two souls can share a secret without ever meeting, bound only by the trust of mathematics. In this way, our private thoughts drift over invisible bridges, cradled in a calm, secure embrace. Before these modern systems, there were older mysteries still waiting to be understood. Imagine a book, handwritten in the quiet of the 15th century, its pages filled with strange plants that never grew on Earth, and celestial maps that trace unknown skies. This is the Voynich manuscript, a gentle riddle bound in vellum and ink. Its script flows in a language no one has ever understood, a river of symbols drifting across the parchment. For decades, linguists have studied it, tracing the curves of its letters with soft reverence, yet the meaning remains hidden, like a melody from a forgotten dream. The Voynich manuscript rests in its silence, a peaceful enigma waiting for the moment when someone might listen closely enough to hear its ancient whisper. It is a book that asks nothing, simply existing as a quiet mystery in the stream of time. At the heart of all this, modern encryption relies on the quiet strength of prime numbers. These are numbers that can only be divided by themselves and one, and they form a protective cocoon around our digital lives. The difficulty of factoring very large numbers into their prime parts creates a silent, secure shell. When you send a message across the world, it is wrapped in this mathematical harmony, a gentle cloak that guards your private thoughts. Our data drifts safely through the global network, like a leaf carried on a calm stream, cradled in the invisible arms of encryption. It is a serene dance of numbers, ensuring that our secrets remain ours alone, floating peacefully through the vast digital sky. Think of it as a lullaby of mathematics, a soft, unwavering shield that watches over us while we sleep. Drifting now into the realm of hidden words, we find the peaceful art of ciphers and secret messages. In the deep, silent hours of World War II, the Enigma machine spun its intricate wheels, each one turning in a careful, steady rhythm. These rotations created a mesmerizing web of billions of possible settings, like a cosmic puzzle meant to be admired in the quiet of night. Alan Turing and his team at Bletchley Park drifted through this soft labyrinth of logic, their minds moving like gentle currents. They built a device called the Bombe, which hummed with a warm, low tone as it quietly unraveled the secrets of the German Navy. It was a patient and graceful dance, a slow unveiling of hidden truths under the moonlight. Long before digital screens flickered in our homes, the Caesar Cipher offered a simple, elegant way to guard private thoughts. It was a time of parchment and wax seals when messages traveled slowly across the empire. By shifting each letter of the alphabet 3 places to the right, a clear message transformed into a quiet puzzle. The letters moved like leaves in a gentle breeze, their true meaning concealed in plain sight. Only those with the key could unlock this soft secret, holding it close like a cherished memory in the Roman light. In the ancient world, some secrets were kept through steganography, the art of hiding messages in plain sight. Historical accounts describe messages written on parchment and then carefully wrapped around a wooden rod, their words vanishing into the texture of the wood. Only someone with a matching rod could read the message smoothly, like unwinding a silk ribbon. In another gentle method, a messenger would have their head shaved, the secret tattooed onto the scalp, and then wait for their hair to grow back in a peaceful cloak of concealment. The secret traveled quietly, unseen and unsuspected, until the moment of revelation arrived.
The Vigenère cipher was once whispered to be le chiffre indéchiffrable, the unbreakable cipher, for over 300 years. Its method was a soft and rhythmic one, using a keyword to shift letters in a flowing pattern. This dance ensured that the same letter in a message would be represented by different symbols throughout the text, hiding the message in a cloak of variation. Imagine it as a gentle stream, where each ripple changes the reflection, so no two moments are alike. It was a cipher of enduring peace, a whispered secret that lulled the curious into slumber. During the Renaissance, the Great Cipher of Louis XIV was a sophisticated tapestry of numbers and symbols designed to protect the deepest royal secrets of France. It wove a complex pattern that held its silence for nearly 2 centuries, like a sealed tomb in a quiet garden. The cipher was a mystery wrapped in the elegance of a bygone era, its logic sleeping undisturbed. Then, a dedicated cryptanalyst came along, slowly drifting through the patterns with patient reverence, as if tracing a constellation in the night sky. Over time, he decoded the king's private correspondence, and the ancient whispers became words once more, soft and revealing. Imagine a language so beautiful and flowing that it becomes a secret song of protection. During the turmoil of World War II, the Navajo code talkers used their native tongue to transmit messages across vast distances. Their words, full of melody and rhythm, were completely unknown to those who might intercept them. The code was never written down, never truly breakable, because it lived in the hearts and memories of these men. As their voices drifted quietly over the radio waves, they brought a calm and precise guidance to their allies, like a whisper carried on a gentle breeze. That natural, effortless whisper wove a thread of safety through the chaos, a quiet force that turned beauty into an unbreakable shield. Long ago, the Greeks used a simple yet elegant tool called the Scytale to send secret messages. A strip of leather was wound around a wooden staff of a specific thickness, and letters were written across the coils. To anyone else, the unwound leather was just a jumble of floating, meaningless letters. But when the recipient wrapped that same strip around their own matching staff, the fragments aligned perfectly. The scattered symbols would gently come together to form a clear and calming stream of thought, as if the words were always meant to find their way home. This quiet ritual of wrapping and revealing felt like unwinding a sacred ribbon, where trust and knowledge danced in perfect harmony, and the message arrived like a soft breath on the wind. In the digital world, there is a quiet magic built upon the elegance of prime numbers. Modern cryptography, like the RSA algorithm, uses these special numbers to create a lock that is simple to secure but nearly impossible to open without the right key. Imagine multiplying 2 enormous prime numbers together to form a single, unguessable result. Closing this lock takes just a moment, a fleeting click in the vastness of cyberspace. But for a computer without the secret, breaking it open would feel like searching through a drifting eternity, a soft and infinite journey with no end in sight. It is a testament to how gentle and profound mathematics can be, guarding our digital whispers with the silence of numbers, a deep and peaceful ocean of protection. In the 15th century, a quiet revolution in secrecy came in the form of the Alberti cipher disk. It was made of 2 concentric copper plates that could be rotated softly against one another. This gentle movement was like a mechanical dance, where letters and symbols shifted into new relationships with each turn. With every adjustment, the encryption key changed, creating a landscape of symbols that was always in a state of peaceful flux. The message became a secret garden, its flowers rearranged so that only someone with the matching dance could find their way through the fragrant pathways. Turning the disk was a meditative act, a silent conversation with the metal that held secrets like dormant seeds, waiting to bloom in the right hands. In ancient Egypt, Scribes sometimes added a layer of quiet mystery to their inscriptions by using non-standard hieroglyphs. These subtle variations were not meant to hide the meaning completely, but to invite a moment of pause. As you run your fingers over the cool, carved stone, you might notice a symbol that is just slightly different from the rest. It asks you to slow down, to linger over the artistic beauty of the message. The wall becomes not just a text, but a gentle meditation where every carved sign is a flower waiting to be appreciated under the soft light of a setting sun. This practice reminds us that some messages are meant to be felt, not just read, in a space where time moves like a slow, honeyed river, and the world around you fades into a soft, golden hush. Let your mind settle now, and let us drift together through the quiet history of secrets, of messages folded into whispers.
Imagine, if you will, a machine of polished wood and brass, clicking softly in a dimly lit room. This was the Enigma, a device from a time of great shadows, the Second World War. Its heart was a series of rotating wheels that created a staggering number of possible settings for every single letter that was typed. Each press of a key set off a silent, intricate dance of rotors, a floating, shifting puzzle that seemed to lock its words away forever. To the world, it was an unsolvable labyrinth, until the quiet, profound brilliance of Alan Turing and his team developed a machine called the bomb, a gentle giant that listened to the code's hidden rhythm and coaxed its secrets into the light. Long before these mechanical marvels, there was a simpler, softer kind of secret. It is called the Caesar Cipher, one of the earliest whispers of hidden writing. Picture Julius Caesar in a dusty campaign tent, needing to send a private message to a trusted general. His method was a gentle, almost poetic shift, where every letter of his words simply drifted 3 positions down the alphabet. An A would softly bloom into a D, and a B into an E, a quiet and graceful change. To a messenger who did not know the simple rhythm of the code, the words looked like nonsense, a string of forgotten sounds. But to those who knew the secret, it was as clear as a morning stream, a tender dance of letters that kept a commander's thoughts safe. From that simple shift, let us now float forward to the quiet depths of the 16th century. There, a man named Blaise de Vigenère developed something so beautiful and complex it was called le chiffre indéchiffrable, the unbreakable cipher. Imagine not just a single fixed shift of letters, but a flowing, multi-layered secret that changed with every character. This method used a single keyword, a whispered word like a talisman. This keyword would shift letters by varying amounts throughout the message, creating a code that was not a rigid wall, but a flowing river of secrets. This elegant, swirling cipher resisted every attempt at decoding for over 300 years, a silent, unyielding guardian of whispered truths. Even further back, in the world of ancient Sparta, a general would receive a simple, strange gift in the night, a strip of leather with letters scattered across it like lost stars. This was the secret of the Scytale. The message was written on parchment while it was tightly wrapped around a wooden rod of a very specific diameter. When unwound, the words dissolved into a meaningless string of characters, a silent chaos of letters. Only when this ribbon was wrapped around a rod of the exact same width by the intended recipient would the letters gently slide back into place, aligning perfectly to reveal the peaceful, hidden words written across the leather. The key was not a phrase, but a simple, physical, shared object. And sometimes, the greatest secrets are not locked away, but hidden in plain sight, resting quietly on an ordinary piece of paper. During the Renaissance, this art was called steganography. Think of a blank sheet, a letter seemingly about the weather or the health of a distant cousin. But hidden between those mundane lines, a message was written in invisible ink made from lemon juice or milk. The words were completely silent and invisible to the naked eye, sleeping on the page. Only when a gentle heat source, perhaps the soft flame of a candle, was carefully applied, would the secret be coaxed into life. The hidden letters would drift slowly into view, blooming faintly brown against the paper, revealing a heartfelt message from a friend or a lover's quiet truth before fading back into a warm and lasting silence. As you rest, consider all the quiet ways words have been held safe, just for the right ears, just for the right heart, like a secret shared with the settling night, under the patient and eternal watch of the distant twinkling starlight. Let us drift deeper into the quiet world of secrets and ciphers, where each fact is a soft echo from history. The Great Cipher of Louis XIV was a silent guardian of the royal court, using a complex system of numbers and syllables to keep the king's private thoughts sealed in a numerical slumber. For decades, mathematicians and historians puzzled over its intricate patterns, but the code refused to yield, holding the secrets of the court in a gentle, unyielding embrace like a lullaby that never ended. It rested in the archives, a mystery dreaming of a bygone era, waiting for the light of understanding to touch its hidden rhythms.
In the 1970s, a new kind of secret was born with public key cryptography, a digital lock and key that could be shared openly. Only the intended recipient could unlock the message, and our modern data began to float securely through the air, protected by the mathematical elegance of prime numbers. This breakthrough felt like a whisper in the digital wind, ensuring that our most private conversations could drift safely from one corner of the world to another. It was a dance of numbers in the ether, a quiet revolution that let our thoughts travel unseen, wrapped in a blanket of code. The Voynich manuscript is a mysterious book from the 15th century, filled with an unknown script and illustrations of strange floating plants. Its pages are a silent enigma, inviting scholars to drift through its cryptic drawings and lost language, but it remains unread, a dreamlike artifact that carries the scent of ancient mysteries. The plants seem to sway in an unseen breeze, and the text flows like water over smooth stones, refusing to be deciphered. It is a book that guards its secrets with the gentle persistence of time itself, allowing us only to gaze upon its beauty without understanding. In 1467, the Alberti cipher disk was created, using two concentric copper circles that could be rotated to change the encryption pattern. This tactile device allowed the user to glide through different alphabets, adding a graceful layer of complexity to their correspondence. With each turn of the disk, letters shifted in a delicate dance, a quiet mechanism that turned simple words into hidden messages. The feel of cool copper under the fingers made encryption a physical, meditative act, a spinning circle that blurred the line between art and secrecy. In ancient times, some used the Scytale method of writing on thin strips of papyrus, which felt soft and organic in the hand. These scrolls were carefully wound and unwound, mirroring the slow, rhythmic cycle of the moon as they carried secrets across vast, quiet landscapes. The process was like a silent ritual, the papyrus embracing the staff, revealing its message only when wrapped in the right pattern. As the scroll was unwound, the letters would appear in a gentle flow, telling their story to those who knew the secret, a simple yet profound way to protect thoughts. These codes and ciphers have carried the weight of empires, but now they can simply be a lullaby for your dreams. There is a quiet beauty in the way humans have wrapped their words in veils, passing them through time and tide with a whisper. Our journey begins with a dance of rotating wheels in the heart of a world war. The Enigma machine of World War II used a series of rotating wheels to create a drifting, ever-changing sea of substitutions. Each letter shifted and turned, like leaves caught in an endless, gentle whirl, forming patterns too vast for the waking mind to grasp. This complexity was so deep and so wide that it called for a quiet brilliance, the kind that lived in Alan Turing and his team at Bletchley Park. They created the Bombay, a device that softly unraveled these secrets, gently teasing apart the tangled threads until the hidden messages lay bare in the soft light. Long before such machines hummed in the shadows, there was a simpler, more peaceful kind of cipher. The Caesar Cipher was one of the earliest ways to send words on a silent journey, where each letter in a message was simply shifted a few places down the alphabet. This ancient Roman method allowed messages to glide through enemy lines, hidden in plain sight, as if carried by a sleepy breeze. To those who did not know the key, it was just a string of nonsense, a quiet lullaby that guarded the minds of generals and emperors. As time drifted into the medieval period, another gentle tool emerged from the minds of scribes.
They discovered the art of frequency analysis, a way to unlock secrets by observing how often certain letters float to the surface of a text. Just as the heart beats in a steady rhythm, so too do letters repeat in human language, and by counting these soft pulses, one could peel back the layers of a code. It was a patient, meditative practice, like watching the stars rise, slowly revealing the hidden words beneath the surface. This knowledge gave rise to more intricate veils, and the Vigenère cipher once stood as a sturdy fortress of privacy. So strong it was called the Unbreakable cipher. Using a keyword to shift letters in a repeating wave-like pattern, it drifted through diplomatic circles as a trusted way to protect royal whispers. For centuries, it remained a quiet guardian for secrets passed between courts and councils, its waves lapping gently against the shores of history without ever breaking. It was a cipher of elegant simplicity, a soft melody that only the intended ears could hear. Even as the world grew louder, new tools were crafted for quieter wars. During the American Civil War, the cipher disk was used to encrypt messages through a rotating wheel of alphabets. These small, handheld devices were like little lanterns in the fog, allowing soldiers to transform their thoughts into a quiet, unrecognizable script before sending them across the landscape. Their words became whispers on paper, floating over fields and forests, unseen and unheard by those who did not hold the key. As we drift through these veils of history, we see how every cipher is a gentle dream, a shared secret between knowing minds. The dance of letters continues, softly turning, always turning, in the quiet night. As we drift deeper into this quiet hour, let us explore the delicate art of hidden messages, where secrets rest like sleeping butterflies. In the shifting sands of a great war, a group of Navajo soldiers carried a living language into the air. Their words flowed like a river, ancient and natural, blending the names of birds and mountains with military terms to create a code that no one else could capture. This language was a living breath, passed down through generations, and now it formed a secure bridge of communication. It was as if the spirits of their ancestors spoke through the radio, wrapping the messages in a gentle but unbreakable cloak. The enemy heard only sounds of the earth, never understanding the secret current that quietly held the Allies together. Now imagine a different kind of secret, one hidden not in sound but in simple sight. Steganography is the gentle art of hiding a message in plain view. Think of a letter written with a brush dipped in fresh lemon juice, the words invisible on the page as they dry. When the paper is held close to a soft candle flame, the heat slowly coaxes the hidden letters into a warm brown glow. The message appears like a whisper emerging from silence, a secret that had been resting peacefully all along. It is a quiet reminder that not all treasures need to be locked away. Some simply wait, invisible, for the right light. From there we turn to a modern mystery that rests under the open sky. At CIA headquarters, a sculpture called Kryptos holds 4 encrypted messages carved into gleaming copper. 3 of these riddles have been solved over the years, but the 4th remains a quiet enigma. It floats in the courtyard, untouched by time, while codebreakers and dreamers pace around it, their minds drifting through patterns of letters. The wind brushes the copper curves, and the unsolved words stay suspended like a lullaby yet to be finished. It is a riddle that invites you to slow down, to breathe, and to wonder without any rush to answer. Now, let us consider the invisible keys that guard our digital world. In the 1970s, a system called public key cryptography emerged, using a pair of mathematical keys. One key is public, shared openly with the world like a lock that anyone can use. The other key is private, held only by the intended receiver, soft as a heartbeat. A message locked with the public key can only be opened by that private counterpart. It is a silent dance of numbers, allowing privacy to flow peacefully across the internet, like a sealed letter gliding through the night, never read by any eyes but those it was meant for. This gentle exchange keeps our secrets safe, floating behind a veil of numbers. Long before all of this, in the sun-warmed temples of ancient Egypt, the earliest forms of cryptography were born. Scribes would use unusual, non-standard hieroglyphs to add a layer of mystery to their records. These special symbols were like soft veils draped over the stone, inviting anyone who gazed upon them to slow down and ponder. The writing was not meant to be read quickly, but to be felt, as if the deeper meaning was a quiet secret hidden within art. It was the first whisper of secret writing, a tender call to look beyond the surface and glimpse a slumbering truth. And so we close this act, with secrets drifting away on the edge of sleep. Rest now, and let the quiet codes of the world dissolve into dreams. Let us drift deeper into the world of secrets and ciphers, a realm where silence holds many soft and layered mysteries. Picture the Enigma machine from World War II, a device of intricate beauty with rotating rotors that created billions of possible letter combinations. It was as if your mind was floating on an almost infinite sea of patterns, a calm and endless ocean where secrets rested in gentle, lapping waves. The quiet brilliance of Alan Turing and his team at Bletchley Park emerged from this deep stillness. They crafted the bombe, a gentle machine that slowly, patiently, peeled back layers of secrecy like a careful gardener tending to fragile petals. It was like unfolding a soft woven cloth to reveal hidden messages resting beneath the surface of comprehension. Each revelation was a soft whisper from the depths, a truth surfacing in peaceful silence, bringing a warm light to the dark, quiet waters of uncertainty. Now, allow your thoughts to travel back to the 15th century, a time of candlelit rooms and quiet reflection. There, Leon Battista Alberti invented the first polyalphabetic cipher, using a floating disk of letters to shift the code mid-message. This clever innovation transformed the art of secrecy from a simple replacement of letters into a fluid, ever-changing dance of symbols. It was a quiet revolution, a protective ballet that guarded the whispers of diplomats. Imagine the disk turning softly in the dim light, each rotation adding a new layer of meaning. It was a slow, meditative waltz for words, keeping thoughts safe and sound from prying eyes. The Vigenère cipher carries a story of its own, once whispered to be le chiffre indéchiffrable, the unbreakable cipher. It used a keyword to guide the shift of each letter, crafting a peaceful fortress of privacy. This fortress stood strong for centuries, shielding royal correspondence like a calm, silent guardian. It protected intimate messages, the thoughts of kings and queens, until the mid-1800s. Then, like a wall gently crumbling under the touch of time, its security was softly breached, allowing light to enter its hidden chambers. During the American Civil War, another kind of secret was kept. The Confederacy relied on the Vigenère cipher and a complex root cipher, where words were written in a grid and read in drifting, winding paths. This method turned a simple letter into a wandering trail of text, a meandering journey across the page. To find the original, resting meaning, one needed a specific key. It was like following a gentle stream through a quiet forest, knowing that the source held a peaceful, hidden truth. The message slept in the grid until the right path awakened it. Finally, let your mind settle on the Zimmermann telegram from 1917. This was a secret message that drifted across the vast Atlantic Ocean. It was meant to pull Mexico into World War I, a quiet attempt to shift the tides of conflict. British cryptographers, working in hushed rooms, quietly decoded the text as if unraveling a delicate thread. When the revelation floated into the public eye, it created a soft ripple that spread far and wide. This gentle unfolding of truth helped sway the United States toward joining the conflict. It was as if a single stone, dropped into a still pond, changed the course of a great river. And so, these secrets from history remind us of the quiet power of hidden words. They drift through time, like echoes in a peaceful dream, touching our world with gentle ripples. In ancient Greece, the Scytale was a simple yet elegant tool for sending secrets. Picture a strip of parchment, thin and pale, wrapped around a wooden rod of a certain thickness. The message was written along the rod, and when the parchment was unwound, the letters seemed scattered and meaningless, but for the intended reader, finding a rod with the exact same diameter was key. As they wrapped the parchment around it, the scattered symbols would come together, aligning in a soft, orderly row. The hidden words would emerge, clear and serene, like stars forming a constellation. This method was a gentle dance of geometry and trust, keeping messages safe in the ancient world. It reminds us that sometimes the simplest tools hold the deepest secrets, hidden in the curve of a rod or the wrap of a parchment. In that quiet action, a message traveled, unseen by eyes that didn't know the rod's size. The Caesar Cipher is one of the oldest known methods of secrecy, from a world where quiet reflection was power. Each letter in a message is shifted a set number of places down the alphabet, a slow and steady transformation. Think of a becoming D, B becoming E, a gentle dance of letters. This simple shift of just 3 places was enough to cloak the private thoughts of a Roman general. In the stillness of his chamber, he could write plans for legions, knowing that only those who knew the shift could unveil them. The alphabet became a gentle stream, carrying secrets on a current of trust. It was a time of quiet contemplation where a modest cipher could protect the weight of an empire's dreams. The letters moved like whispered syllables, hiding truths in plain sight. The black chambers were secret government offices in Europe, hidden away from the noise of daily life. Inside, cryptanalysts spent their hours in soft candlelight, the flames flickering like quiet companions. They would meticulously intercept letters from foreign courts, and then with steady hands they would decode the hidden words. These quiet rooms were the heart of early intelligence, where the ink of a message could sway kingdoms. A subtle shift in a phrase might reveal a plot, and that knowledge could change the fate of a distant realm. In that gentle stillness, the world's secrets were laid bare, one letter at a time. The air was thick with the scent of wax and old paper, and each deciphered word rippled like a stone dropped in a pond, altering the course of history. In those hushed spaces, the fate of nations hung in the balance. Steganography is the gentle art of hiding a message in plain sight. It uses soft, subtle methods, like writing in invisible ink made from lemon juice. You brush the liquid onto paper, and as it dries, the words disappear, leaving no trace. The message becomes a ghost, waiting patiently. Or consider a hollowed-out coin, where a tiny note is hidden, resting in the palm of your hand. This approach to secrecy is like a lullaby, calm and unassuming. To reveal the hidden text, you only need a gentle heat source, like a candle's warm glow, to bring it back to light. It reminds us that Imagine a machine with rotating wheels, each click shifting letters into billions of possible combinations, a deep labyrinth of secrets woven in steel and silence. In the stillness of Bletchley Park, Alan Turing and his team worked with a peaceful, methodical approach to mathematics, gently tracing patterns in the chaos like following starlight. Their quiet dedication unlocked the code, and this calm act shifted the course of history, like a soft wind changing the path of a vast ocean current. The Caesar Cipher is one of the earliest known forms of encryption. A simple drift of letters down the alphabet, like a soft shift in warm sand. Julius Caesar used this gentle method to keep his military communications private, ensuring his thoughts traveled safely across the vast empire. Each letter moved a few steps, a warm, quiet secret carried on parchment, known only to those who knew the silent path. It remains a foundational key, a whisper from ancient times, still echoing in the way we protect words today. During the Golden Age of Islam, Al-Kindi authored the first known manual on cryptanalysis in the 9th century, a quiet manuscript filled with the soft glow of insight. He discovered the technique of frequency analysis, noticing how certain letters float more often in a language, like leaves drifting on a still pond. This gentle observation allowed secrets to be softly revealed, peeling back layers of code with the tender patience of dawn light touching ancient symbols. His work opened a doorway to understanding the hidden rhythms in all texts, a deep, calm key to the heart of language. The Vigenère cipher was once called le chiffre indéchiffrable, the unbreakable cipher, due to its complex use of a keyword weaving a deep tapestry of security. For centuries, it remained a quiet fortress of privacy, holding secrets in a soft, unyielding embrace, resisting all attempts to be solved. Then in the mid-19th century, a patient mind gently unraveled its threads, showing that even the deepest locks can be opened with careful, silent study. It was a lesson in the power of persistence over time, a reminder that stillness can crack the hardest stone. The Great Cipher of Louis XIV was so intricate and layered, a vast labyrinth of symbols woven into the fabric of courtly intrigue, that it remained a deep mystery for 200 years. It was eventually decoded in the 1890s by a quiet analyst, revealing the warm, hidden details of the Sun King's private correspondences and courtly life. These soft whispers from a faded golden age spoke of love, betrayal, and the gentle pulse of power in a sunlit court. The cipher, once unreadable, now lay open like a forgotten story told in a still room, its secrets breathing in the soft air of discovery. Steganography is the quiet art of hiding a message in plain sight, like writing in invisible ink made from lemon juice. The words remain dormant on the page, pale and unseen, a soft secret holding its breath in the stillness. They rest deep within the fibers, carrying hidden meanings that only a gentle heat can wake. As you hold the paper to the warm glow of a candle, the letters begin to bloom slowly, letter by letter, in a faint amber hue. The paper feels warm and fragile in your hands, the heat a tender breath coaxing out the secrets. Each character appears like a star in the twilight, steady and calm. It is a slow, whispered miracle, a tender revelation unfolding in the calm, dim light of intimacy, like a memory returning from the depths of sleep. The Navajo code talkers of World War II used a complex melodic language that was virtually impossible for outsiders to decode. Their voices carried secret messages across the vast, endless Pacific, riding the radio waves on a soft, floating current. These ancestral tones wove a tapestry of safety, each word a gentle, unbreakable thread in the dark fabric of war. The intonations were like a gentle stream, flowing through the noise, a whispered lullaby of heritage, a soft shield of sound against the chaos. Blending tradition with the need for silent communication, they created a living song of security, a soft cadence that only their kin could understand, drifting peacefully through the turmoil like a calm breeze over troubled waters. The one-time pad is the only mathematically unbreakable encryption method, provided the key is used just once and kept secret. It casts a seamless, silent veil over the information, leaving no patterns for anyone to follow or trace. The message becomes a deep, still shadow, cradled in a perfect quiet where no eye can peer. The fleeting key is a random whisper, a soft breeze that disappears after use. With each encryption, the cipher wraps the words in a soft, eternal embrace, a mathematical lullaby that secures secrets with the infinite calm of a starless night, a gentle whisper lost in the void of possibility. Ancient Greeks used a tool called the Scytale, consisting of a parchment strip wrapped around a wooden rod of a specific diameter. The message is a jumble of letters until the strip is gently rewound around a matching cylinder, the symbols falling into a peaceful, ordered row. The wood feels smooth and warm, a silent keeper of hidden words. It is a quiet, tactile secret where the truth sleeps in the curve of the rod, waiting for the right shape to awaken it. In the soft, warm hands of a messenger, the parchment whispers its hidden lore, a gentle alignment of geometry and trust, unfolding like a flower in the ancient dusk, a peaceful harmony of form and meaning. Modern public key cryptography allows two people to share a secret without ever meeting, using a pair of mathematical keys. This system acts like a soft, invisible lock, ensuring that our digital whispers travel safely through the vast, quiet expanse of the internet. Each key is a silent note in a cosmic lullaby, a soft barrier that protects our deepest thoughts. It is a gentle, ethereal handshake, wrapping each message in a warm, protective hum. In the deep, silent void of cyberspace, these keys create a silent guardian, a soft barrier that keeps our intimate moments safe as they drift through the cables, a quiet, cosmic lullaby for the digital age, a whisper of trust in the endless night. The Enigma machine relied on a complex series of rotating wheels. They scrambled messages into an endless dance of shifting letters. Imagine the soft clicks, warm and rhythmic, as the wheels turned. The deep hum of the machine filled the room. Each scrambled letter was a soft note in a silent symphony. In the quiet of war, secrets were woven into this moving cipher. It was only through the quiet persistence of Alan Turing and his team at Bletchley Park. Their concentration was a soft, unwavering light. These intricate patterns were softly unraveled, thread by thread. The course of history altered, like a whisper in the vast stillness. Their gentle work still echoes in the silence.
In ancient times, the Spartans used a device called a Scytale. It was a smooth wooden rod, cool to the touch, with a long strip of parchment. The secret message was wrapped gently around the rod. The parchment whispered against the wood, soft and subtle. Only someone with a cylinder of the exact same diameter could align the letters. To read those hidden words, you needed the warm embrace of that matching rod. The message appeared from the stillness, revealed in the quiet of alignment. It was a tactile secret, felt in the hands, deep and still. The Scytale held words like a silent promise, only unveiled when the world was soft.
The Caesar cipher is one of the oldest known forms of encryption. Each letter in a message is shifted a certain number of places down the alphabet. Feel the rhythmic sliding, soft and steady, like a heartbeat in the text. Each shift was a quiet step, moving letters into a new dance. This simple, elegant movement allowed Julius Caesar to send private thoughts. They traveled across the vast, quiet landscapes of the Roman Empire. The whispers of his messages moved through deep stillness. Shielded by this gentle cipher, the words remained secure. In the still air of ancient chambers, these ciphers were a soft cloak for thoughts. In the soft rustle of parchment, secrets were carried on the wind, vast and unknowable.
During the Islamic Golden Age, the scholar Al-Kindi pioneered the science of frequency analysis. He noticed that certain letters appear more often than others in any given language. These patterns drifted like soft echoes in the quiet of text. By observing the repetitive whispers, he discovered how to peel back layers of encrypted texts. No key was needed, just the deep stillness of observation. The secrets revealed themselves softly, like stars appearing in the twilight. Frequency analysis became a soft key, turning in the lock of secret messages. Al-Kindi's work was a gentle unraveling in the vast library of knowledge. His quiet persistence unlocked words from their silent tombs, changing how we listen to the hidden world. The Vigenère cipher was once known as le chiffre indéchiffrable, the unbreakable cipher. It used a keyword to change the shift for every single letter. Imagine a keyword breathing softly into the text, each breath a new shift. This created a fluid, shifting tapestry of code. Soft and deep, it lay still like a woven secret. For several centuries it remained a mystery to codebreakers. The quiet patterns held their shape, resistant to the gentle pull of decipherment. It was a vast, silent landscape of letters, shifting under the touch of the keyword. It was only through the passage of time that its deep pattern was softly understood. The Vigenère cipher whispered of an unbreakable bond between word and secret, deep in the history of encryption. Drift deeper now into Act 6, where secrets are soft as breath. In the quiet of the 19th century, the Playfair cipher wove a gentle spell of protection. It placed letters in a 5x5 grid, a warm square of order that paired them into a soft blur. British forces used this during the Crimean War, their encrypted notes floating through the cold fog like whispers. The grid was a still center, a deep knowledge shared only with those who understood the quiet code. From that old war, we glide to a modern peace. Public key cryptography builds trust on a serene duality. One key is shared with the world, vast and open like a soft breeze. The other stays hidden, deep in a private place, a warm and vigilant guardian. Strangers across the internet build a floating bridge from this, their secrets drifting safely on a mathematical tide. They never meet, yet their bond is deep and still, a quiet revolution that makes the vast digital sea feel like a calm harbor.
Now, let your mind settle on an ancient enigma. The Voynich manuscript rests in a hushed library. Its pages a sea of unknown symbols. Strange plants float there, silent and green, with celestial maps that whisper of forgotten skies. Scholars drift through it with gentle hands, wondering if it is a lost language from a deep past, or a beautiful puzzle crafted for peaceful hours. The mystery hums softly, unwavering and still, a secret that sleeps in vellum. From hidden words, we move to hidden things. Steganography wraps secrets in the warmth of the ordinary. A message in lemon juice, soft and invisible, waiting for the gentle touch of heat to appear, or a letter tucked in a candle's hollow, a dark and quiet cradle. These secrets become physical objects drifting through the hands of messengers who never feel the whisper they carry. It is a vast, gentle art, transforming the mundane into a vessel for silent truths. Finally, we peer into a serene future with quantum cryptography. Secrets ride on tiny particles of light, photons so delicate that any observation softly changes their state. A mere whisper of eavesdropping, and the message shifts, alerting the sender with a quiet murmur. The fundamental laws of physics guard these whispers, a deep cosmic vigilance that is as still as starlight. In this realm, security is an unbending embrace, as vast and peaceful as the universe itself. Let these quiet secrets sink in, carrying you softer into sleep. A fortress of secrets hummed within the enigma's whirring heart, a billion shifting wheels, until a drifting mechanical mind gently sifted through the silent noise to touch the truth. A parchment ribbon wrapped a wooden rod, a Scytale's quiet key, where floating letters emerged only when a twin of the same diameter held the secret in its soft wooden embrace. Each letter drifted a soft step down the alphabet, a quiet shift Caesar breathed into his words, so his private thoughts floated as undiscovered shadows on the silent wind. Its pages bloom with surreal floating plants and celestial maps, an unknown script whispering secrets, where centuries of scholars drift through the beautiful intricate dream of a forgotten scribe. Whispered as les chiffres indéchiffrables, the Vigenère cipher shifted letters in a rhythmic wave, a fluid dream of a keyword, making messages drift like clouds beyond the grasp of time. In the 1940s, the Navajo code talkers let their melodic, complex tones soar through the airwaves, a code so deeply human that no machine could unravel, their voices carrying secrets like a gentle, enduring breeze. In the quiet halls of the 9th century, Al-Kindi observed the gentle rhythm of letters, noticing how some appeared more often, and with this soft frequency analysis, he peeled back the veil of ciphers like morning light through thin curtains. The great cipher of Louis XIV remained a silent mystery for 200 years, its intricate weaving guarding the peaceful secrets of the Sun King's court, until a late 1800s mind finally unraveled its drifting intrigues. Modern public key cryptography rests on the quiet elegance of prime numbers, a one-way mirror built from mathematics, allowing strangers to share a secret in the open air, floating safely through the digital ether without ever meeting. Steganography hides a message in plain sight, like writing with lemon juice that vanishes until warmed, or tucking a note into a garment's lining, the quietest secrecy disguised as something ordinary and warm. And with that, we bring our quiet journey through the history of cryptography to a gentle close. Your mind has wandered through secret languages, hidden codes, and the empires they silently shaped. Now, let all those intricate patterns dissolve into the softness of sleep.
If these whispered tales helped lull you toward dreams, leave a like beneath the stars. And if you subscribe, I will be here whenever you need a calm voice to accompany you through the night. Tonight, we touch the secrets that toppled empires and the ciphers that kept them safe. Good night, sleep well, and remember that every hidden thing rests in its own time. Rest now, everything is exactly as it should be.